So if you're living in Thailand or staying in Thailand on a visa that requires you to get a re-entry stamp if you leave the country and come back in order to keep that visa status, this is the video for you. I'm going to go through the form that you need, where to go in immigration, and all the procedures. So you ready to follow along? Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
Hey, it's JJ the Lonely Bull in Asia here in my Bangkok condo. I'm getting ready to leave the country for a few days, about a week. The air quality has not been great here in Bangkok. That's the only downside to living in Bangkok, is this time of year the air quality can get bad. So I'm going to leave the country for about a week and then come back, and things should clear up by the time I get back. So I want to leave the country, but I want to keep my education visa. And in order to do that, you have to have a re-entry stamp. So I went to immigration today, and I'm going to show you exactly what I got put together and exactly what you need to get that re-entry stamp for immigration. So follow along here. I've got the form. It's called the TM8 form. All right, so if you look at the form, it's in Thai and it's also in English. So it's application for re-entry permit into the kingdom. And up at the top right, it says TM.8.8. That's the form you need. So you can see everything's written in Thai, but right underneath it's the English version. So where it says written at. Now, don't get confused, because a lot of people, when they're filling out these forms, and not just this form, but all immigration forms, these lines get kind of mixed up, and they end up writing below the line where what you need to write. They write below instead of above. So when you see where it says written at, right there's a dotted line, right? Whatever, like I'm writing Bangkok. So Bangkok. And then the date, the first line is the day of the month. The second line is the month, and the third line is the year. Pretty simple. Now, it goes to the immigration officer. Now, the next line down there that you got to fill out, your family name. So above where it says family name, write in your last name. And then first name, write in your first name. Don't put your middle name there. And then the next line down, it says middle name. Right above where it says middle name, write your middle name. So you want to write it exactly how it's written in your passport. And then nationality, I would put American. And then age, you put your age. And then here it says date of birth. That first line there, right above where it says date of birth, that's the date of your birth. So say if you were born on the first of the month, you write 01. And then you go down to the next line where it says month. Right above that, you write the month that you were born, and then year, right above that, you write the year. And then you write whatever state you were born in, and then the country. And mine would be USA. Now, if you weren't born in the US, you would put whatever province or whatever they call it in your country. Occupation, above that line, you put, above that where it says occupation, you put whatever your occupation is. I'm retired, so I put retired. And then your address, your present address. So I would put above that line, I would put the name of my condo, and the next line it says road. So there I would put the street, which would be Soe Sukhumvit 24. And then down the next line down, above that you put your district. And my district is Klong Tan. And then the next one would be sub-district, and my sub-district would be Klong Toi. And then Bangkok would be your province, and then put your postal code. Mine is 10110. Also, when you're putting your address in, if you live in a condo, put your condo number there too, where it says present address. I forgot to add that. And then you can either do a single reentry or a multiple reentry. So a single reentry gives you one out of the country and come back in. A multiple gives you several. If you're not planning on traveling out of the country, For the length of your visa, more than once, just get a single entry. The only way you're going to save money, your break even, is probably 4 trips, because a single entry will cost you 1,000 baht, whether you do it at immigration or at the airport. A multiple entry costs you 3,800 baht. So if you're traveling in and out of the country 4 times or more within that period that your visa is good, then I would get the multiple entry. If it's under 4, 3 or less, just get a single entry each time. Now, you'll have to go through the hassle of going through immigration each time, but you'll save money. All right, so you intend to go where? Above where it says you intend to go, you put what country you're going to, and then you're leaving on the date, so the date of the month. So if you're leaving on, say, the 27th, you put 27. The month would be January or whenever, and the year. And then the mode of transportation, above where it says that, you put whatever you're, if you're flying, you put air. And then the purpose of your visa is you put whatever your visa is. Now I put education, so that's the purpose of my visa. And then you have your travel dates in there, when you're leaving, when you're coming back, the country. As far as your passport, it says I hold the passport or travel document of, and what country. So it says country. Above that, you put whatever country your passport's from, and then issued at. So it'd be, mine was issued in the U.S. Your passport number and the date it was issued. Date, month, and year, and valid until date, month, and year. So when does it expire? Now, your previous visa for Thailand is of what category? So I would put non-immigrant visa, because that's what mine is. Yours could be something else. They've got several options there. They got tourist visa, transit visa, and others. Issued at. So where was your visa issued? Mine would have been Bangkok. Mine was issued in Bangkok. On what date? So you can check on your passport the date that your visa was issued. Date, month, and year, and then you arrived in Bangkok on what date you arrived in Bangkok to get your latest stamp. Not your original, but your latest. So whatever date that was. So when I went out of the country back in December, I came back on the 27th. That's when they issued my new stamp. So my stamp, I arrived in Bangkok on the 27th December 2025. I've been permitted to stay up to, and then you put your date, month, and year. You can find that on your stamp. It'll show you exactly when your visa expires. Mine is April 27th, 2026. That's when my 90 days are up. Then I have to extend. Okay, so you got all that, and then you sign it. And this will be on, if you get the form from your school, or if you get the form from immigration, it'll be front and back. So this is the back side. And then you'd have to glue a photo to the back of your form. You've got to have a passport size photo. And you can get this at, if you're at the immigration building downstairs, they've got a couple of photo shops there that they'll take your photo, they'll make copies for you if you need that, because you will need copies of your passport too, but they'll do all that for you. Or you can go, anywhere in Bangkok or wherever you're at, you can find these photo shops that will take your photo and make copies for you. So you glue that, you sign your name, and then you've got your form all set to go. The next step is to make copies now. So you're going to need to make a copy of your front page of your passport, your ID page, and then your latest stamps. So whatever your latest stamps are, you'll need to make a copy of that page. Your latest entry page of your entry stamps, and your latest re-entry stamps if you have any, and then your 90-day notification here. So make copies of all of that, and then you've got all that, and then you take the form plus the copies and your photo glued to the back of the form, and you'll take that to immigration or take it to the airport. Now, I thought about doing the airport one, but I'm always a little worried about going to the airport and not having everything ready, because you just never know if you run into problems, and for whatever reason, maybe you don't get the reentry stamp. I don't know why it would be that way. I suppose it's probably pretty easy. The only other issue I would have is just the extra time you have to spend in line to get that done. I would rather just take care of it beforehand. So that's what I did. I went to immigration building. It's the Division 1 building. It's not the one in Laxey where you go to get your tourist visa extension, your 30-day extension. That's a different building. This is, you want to look up Immigration Division 1, Building B, and that's the one you go to. And then it's right there on the first floor. As soon as you walk in, you'll go up to the counter. You have to show the lady your passport. She scans it, takes a picture of you, sends you through. If you're carrying any luggage or backpack or anything, you got to run that through. It's just like at an airport. So you run that through their scanner. If not, I wouldn't carry anything but your paperwork, your passport, and your wallet. So you've got your money, because you have to pay cash. So you go through there. Then as soon as you walk into the main area there, to the right is the immigration office. So I got there about 8:15. So I left here a little after 7, got there about 8:15. So right about an hour, a little over an hour. That's how long it took me to get Grab. Now, you can take the trains. The only problem with that is there's no train station that drops off near that building. So really, you're about a 30-minute walk from the train station to the immigration building. Now, you can find a bike or take a Grab from there if you want. I just went the easy route and paid the $15, basically 500 baht. Took the Grab car, went by way of the highway, so I paid the tolls. So it ended up being about 580 baht total, which is about $17, $18 maybe. But I got there within an hour. And so when I walked in, there wasn't very many people in my line. So that first line, when you walk in, that's the line you go to if you don't already have a queue number. There are several other lines there that were waiting to get in because the offices don't open until 8:30. This is about 8:15 in the morning. Those lines were people who had queue numbers from the day before and didn't get through, so they were told to come back today. So they were waiting. So they were let in first, right? Probably about 8:20, they started letting them in line because they already had their queue number, so they didn't have to go through the line and get their new queue number. Well, actually, I'm sorry, they did have. They took the number from them, and then they went in line and got a new queue number. Once those people went through, and there's probably 50 of them, then they opened up right about 8:30. They opened up the line for us, and we went through, and I got into the queue line inside immigration right at 8:32. So almost right when they opened, basically. And then it took about 10 minutes waiting in line to get up to the front because all those people that were there the day before were still in line in front of me. And I got there and showed them my paperwork and my passport, and I said re-entry, and she gave me a queue number that said C2. So it was the C2 area. So there's several areas. There's C, there's C1, there's C2, there's L, there's N, there's M, there's all kinds of areas. N is for your extension for your education visa. C is for your initial visa and for your reentry. C2 is reentry. So I got there, I got my queue number, it was C205. So I went up there and I sat down. I'm looking at the board because it shows everything up there. And they were already on C203. So I only waited about 5 minutes before my number was called. So I went into the cubicle, gave her my paperwork and my passport, and she went through it and then said 1,000 baht. So I paid her the 1,000 baht, and she says, wait outside. So I went back out sat right out front there, waited, and it was literally about not even 10 minutes. And they called my number again and went up, and they had my passport. And I got everything stamped. I got my new, that's my new re-entry stamp right there. So I got that all taken care of. And it says it's good until April 27th, which is how long my visa is good for. But it also says single entry. So I can't just keep using it until April 27th. I can use it once, and then that's it. So, but the whole process, got there about 8:15. I was out of there by about 9:20. So just over an hour, which is really, really good. Now, I know I've heard a lot of horror stories. I've been through a lot of times where immigration takes a long time. I will tell you that this is where the Philippines has it over Thailand as far as trying to get things done in immigration, because you only have basically 2 offices in all of Bangkok. You've got one for your Thai tourist extension, and then the other one for everything else, which is the one I went to. So you could wait a long time. So here's the hack for you. Get there early, get there before they open. If you can get there right at 8 o'clock, you're gonna get in line pretty good like I did and get things done. Now, if you're one of those people that don't like to get up early and you get there in the afternoon, or you get there around 11, you're gonna have a big number and you're gonna have to sit, and you're not gonna get in before lunch. So they kick everybody out at noon, and then you have to come back at 1 and then continue. So you're going to be there a while. I'll give you another hack. Look for these immigration agents. They're kind of walking around the chairs, around the aisles that everybody's waiting, because they've got a stack of queue numbers that are low. And if they see that you've got a high number, they'll switch with you and give you a lower number. That happened to me last time I went to get my extension. I got my number switched, and I got in and out pretty quickly right after lunch. So there's a little hack for you. So look for those people to find you a lower queue number, and that may help you out too. It's not always going to be available, but when it is, it's kind of saves you a lot of time. But all in all, really smooth process. So I'm good to go, leaving the country for a week, leaving tomorrow, and when I come back, the neat thing about the reentry permit, the reentry stamp, is I will not lose my education visa. I'll keep that. If you don't have a reentry stamp, the visa's canceled, and the chances are kind of iffy if they're going to reinstate it or not, or give you a new one. So just don't take those chances, guys. Anyway, comment below what your experiences have been. If you got any other questions for me, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the notification bell so you get notified when I post new videos. And hopefully this is helpful for you guys. And I'll see you when I get back from vacation. And as always, live life, my friend. Sabay sabay. And we'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.